Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the deployment of the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Force Criminal Investigation Department, who is the supervisory DIG for the Southwest Geopolitical Zone, DIG Johnson Kokumo, for the Osun State gubernatorial election scheduled to hold on Saturday. He is to be assisted by 4 Assistant Inspector Generals of Police, 4 Commissioners of Police, 15 Deputy Commissioners of Police, and 30 Assistant Commissioners of Police. Adequate police personnel of the rank of Chief Superintendents of Police and below have equally been deployed for the election. This is contained in a release by the First Public Relations Officer, CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi. The release further stated that DIG Kokumo is responsible for overseeing the implementation of the operation order to ensure a peaceful and conducive environment devoid of violence and to guarantee law-abiding citizens in the state of a secured space to freely perform their civic responsibilities without molestation or intimidation. The IGP, who has been built to meet with stakeholders in Osogbo tomorrow, emphasized that these necessary operational deployments are part of actions aimed at creating a conducive and enabling environment that will guarantee peaceful and proper conduct of the Osun gubernatorial poll. He therefore admonished the good people of Osun State to be law-abiding and comply with the restriction of movement order, which will be announced as and when due, urging them to come out en masse and exercise their franchise, as adequate security has been placed by the police and other security agencies to protect them before, during, and after the elections. 18 people have been killed after gunmen loyal to a notorious bandit kingpin, Damina, attacked the villages of Kango and Dangube in the Maru local government area in Zamfara State. Community residents said several people who fled the attack have not yet returned. It was learned that the local government of Maru is a hotbed of banditry in the state. Meanwhile, Nigerians have called on the federal government and other stakeholders in the security sector to go back to the drawing board so as to put all security networks together to fight the incessant attacks, mitigating the growth of the country. They made the call while speaking with OSBC News as they expressed great concern for the future of Nigerians following the recent invasions of an attack on the presidential convoy, the attack on Kuje Correctional Facility, and destruction of government formations, among others. Oluwato Biloba Odinuga has the details.
Dastardly situation where no one is safe and war still. Rather than abate, the problem is escalating and now totally out of control. The country has always faced different difficult challenges at different times. As early as the 1960s, the country was involved in a 3-year civil war that totally decimated certain parts of Nigeria. In recent times, Elders, ISWAP, IPOB, and Boko Haram, among others, have become another terrorist group who have continued to torment the Nigeria and their people. The recent destruction of government institutions in the East, attacks on Kuje Correctional Center, Abuja, as well as the attack on President Muhammadu Buhari's convoy in Katsina, as well as other cases of insecurity, have left Nigerians wondering how and when the country got it so bad. Speaking with OSBC News on this development, pundits including a retired permanent secretary in Osun State, Mr. Kola Buhari, and Dr. Rotimi Fagbule maintain that Nigeria is vulnerable to violent attacks because of the inadequate security measures, adding that innocent school children have been kidnapped on a daily basis while their parents are thrown into great despair. They noted that there is no gainsaying that insecurity in Nigeria today is more pronounced than in the yesteryears, and the recent attack will make the government to rise to their responsibilities.
It's a serious and grievous one. But I think it's like an expression of frustration on the lot of the people, masses generally. And maybe they wanted to send a message directly to our number one man himself that all is not well as far as our security architecture in the country is concerned. So I think, and I believably, a very appropriate and immediate, effective action will be taken therefrom.
And I believe, as at now, maybe our government will wake up. Because what has been happening to people who don't have anybody to cater for them. For the weak, for the poor, and for all those people who are just running helter-skelter to make both end meet and eat. But our government, or let me say our leaders, they don't see anything. They felt like nothing is going wrong. But now that won't happen, maybe President Buhari will now know that the suffering is at the climax.
Mr. Kola Buhari and Dr. Rotimi Fagbule noted that the duty of every government is to ensure the security of lives and properties of the citizens, and whatever manner is adopted to guarantee peace and tranquility is not only welcome but also desirable. Oluwa Tobiloba Odunuga, reporting for OSBC News.
And now to sports. Super Falcons eat Swallows of Burundi with 4-0, of which 3 goals in 4 minutes set the tone for record champions before the final demolition of the East African women's team in their last Group C game of the Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco to book a spot in the quarterfinals. With the result, the Falcons set up a potentially explosive clash with perennial rivals Cameroon in their last 8 clash. Forward Rasheedat Ajibade, the star girl of the Nigerians, scored the first goal of the night in the 25th minute before the Athletic Madrid women provided the second for Peace Effie in seconds, as well as the third and fourth for Uchenna Kanu in the 29th and 46th minutes in what was a comprehensive victory for Nigeria. It was learned that coach Randy Waldron made 4 changes to the side that defeated Botswana 2-0 on match day 2 of the tournament.